Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Dear viewers, once again, this is Imar Islam Raju in front of you. Listen, 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 and listen. Well, thank you very much for stopping by on this video again. And today I'm here with no topic. I do not have any kind of topic, but I have decided to share with you something related to English listening. You even don't know that how much important listening for developing your English language. Well, listening is the key to mastery English language. Basically, English is spoken or spoken English. Listening to English is a paramount for mastering spoken English. It serves as a foundation of learning English. It helps enhancing comprehension, pronunciation, and overall communication skills. Through active listening, one absorbs the language, leading to a more natural and fluent spoken expression. Well, today I'd like to talk about the importance of English listening skills. Now, you might be wondering, why is listening in English so crucial? Firstly, English is often considered the global language of communication. Whether you are traveling, working, or connecting with people from different parts of the world, a good knowledge of English listening allows you to understand and be understood. It's like having a universal remote control for communication. Imagine you are in a meeting with people from various countries. The ability to listen and comprehend English effectively ensures that you don't miss out on important information. It's not just about words, it's about understanding the language, the tone, and the context. English listening skills help you navigate the vast sea of information. Furthermore, in our interconnected world, English is often the language of business, right? Many multinational companies use English as their primary mode of communication. By holding your English listening skills, you open doors to career opportunities and advancements. It's not just about leading a job or landing a job. It's about excelling in your profession by being able to understand instructions, collaborate effectively, and contribute meaningfully, right? Education is another arena where English listening plays a vital role. Think about the wealth of knowledge available in English. From academic lectures to online courses, the ability to listen and comprehend English allows you to access a vast pool of information. Precisely, or in a nutshell, English listening is not just a skill, it's a passport to a world of possibilities. It's the bridge that connects you with people, cultures, and opportunities around the globe. So let's embrace the power of English listening and open ourselves up to a world filled with knowledge, collaboration, and success. So usually I'm talking about the importance of listening and how you will get benefited if you listen repeatedly, or if you listen enough. Well, in English language, not only for English language, but also for any types of language, if you want to achieve mastery of that particular language, you have to listen a lot. I mean, listening is kind of input. If you give input listening, then output will be also kind of speaking, right? Okay, let me clear one thing with you, that is, if you listen words, you can produce words. Okay, I'm talking about input and output. I mean, if you give input listening, then you can produce some words or some speaking. But if you input some writing and reading, you can, I mean, you will be able to produce some reading or writing. That means a language is depending on your input system. That's why any types of language, if you want to achieve mastery on that particular language, you have to be good at listening, because usually speaking comes from lots of listening. I always say my students, you have to listen. You have to do loads of listening, not only a few minutes or few hours or few days. You have to listen for months. You have to listen for years sometimes. Then it will be possible to speak more confidently, you speak effortlessly, right? That's why I always suggest to all of my students, if you build your English knowledge, if you want to develop your English skill, you have to listen a lot. If any teacher suggests you that if you read this book, you will be able to speak in English, believe me or trust me, that's a big, big lie. Not only big, that's a huge lie. Why am I saying that's a lie? Because if you read books, you will be able to read only, right? That's why I'm saying listen, because our ultimate goal is we have to speak, we have to communicate. That's why we have to listen some talks, we have to listen some podcast, we have to listen some TED Talks or some kind of shows that is related to English speaking, because we need to speak. We need to learn how to speak in English, right? For this reason, for this issue to solve, we have to listen. You have to listen. We all have to listen and listen, because speaking depends on only listening. Well, you can say, sir, I have to sit for some exams, I have to sit for some test or some kind of exams. That time, what to do, right? Because if I listen a lot, then I will be able to speak good, I will be able to speak much better. But if I have to sit for writing, then how to become good at writing? Well, that suggestion completely different. But if you can speak well on any types of language, maybe that is English, that kind of some other languages, but if you have good knowledge in speaking, then writing will be easier for you. But if you want to improve your writing skill, if you want to improve your comprehension power or comprehensive power on that particular language, then you have to study some newspaper, some articles, some writings, some paragraphs on that particular topics, right? That's why if you want to improve your comprehensive power on writing, you have to read some newspapers, some articles, or some other things that will help you to enrich your English knowledge. But speaking is kind of different thing, because if you want to speak, if you want to improve your English communication, that's why we have to listen some people, we have to listen some podcast, we have to listen some TV show, it may be. But I sometimes I say to my students, listen or study things that attract you. Okay, what do I mean by things attracting? Well, attracting means the thing that you like to listen, that the thing that you like to watch, the things that you like to read. That's why when you are learning something, focus on the things, on the learnings materials that will be easier for you, that will be very much effective for you, that will be entertaining for you. Because if you have something to listen, if you have something to watch, that makes you entertaining, that makes you feel comfortable, that time it will be easier to listen for a long time. So as a teacher of English language, I suggest you choose some material, choose some listening podcast that will be suitable for you, that will be more enjoyable for you. Because if you listen something enjoyable, it will be helpful for listen for a long time. Because there's another important issue, that is, if you listen for a long time, it will be a deep learning. Because if you listen a video for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, maybe the video contains only for 10 minutes. You are listening these types of 10 videos, that means you are listening 100 minutes and 10 different topics. But that will not be deep learning, right? That will not be repeated learning. So I recommend you listen a single video of 10 minutes for 10 times. It will be much better for improving your English understanding, because repetition is the key to mastery. Well, I was in the part of listening. I was in the topic of listening. Okay, I'm focusing on to improve your English capabilities, English knowledge, English abilities. That's why you have to listen a lot. You have to listen and listen and listen. I repeatedly saying that I'm repeatedly saying that listen a lot. I mean, listen, 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 and listen. Well, why do I say this? That listening is the mastery. I mean, listening is the key to English mastery. Well, some teacher will say you that read my book. It will be helpful for your English speaking. Trust me, there is no books in the world that will make you to speak fluently, that will make you to speak effortlessly, that will help you to speak much better. That's why I recommend you, I suggest you to listen and listen things that is attracting you, that is attractive for you, or listen some videos. Okay, you can listen some videos that is easy, that is designed for the students. But if you want to listen some difficult thing, that will be tough for you to continue listening for a long time, right? Well, as a beginner, I think that you are starting learning English language. That's why you have to listen some easy listening materials, right? I always recommend my students listen some easy audios, listen some easy videos. Cause if you are not good at understanding English language, if you are not good at listening, you should listen some learning materials. What do I mean by learning materials? Well, let's explain what is learning materials. Learning materials is kind of things that is designed for the students. I mean, learning materials are the things that are designed for only students, for the students who are learning English language, right? Try to listen some listening material. Don't start listening some advanced English, because we are learning English as a second language. We have some weakness in English listening, in English understanding. It's very common phenomenon in the world, those who are learning English as a second language. That's why I always suggest you listen some easy listening, materials, or listen some learning videos, learning tips. Like I will recommend you listen some videos from AJ Hogg. He's a famous teacher, and I will suggest you to listen to Luke's English podcast. He's my favorite. I listen him a lot. I have listened his, minimum more than 200 podcasts. I have listened. Seriously, I like him. He's really a fantastic person. He has done something tremendous for the students of the non-native speakers, non-native learners, because he made loads of podcasts. Really very funny, sometimes very interesting, sometimes some kind of serious issues. Why do I suggest him? Because he made some materials, he made some podcast only because of the students who are learning English as a non-native. That's why he tries to use some easy words, he tries to use some easy languages that will be helpful for us to understand. If you listen him, he that will be, very much useful for you to develop your English language. Well, I'm just rambling without having any specific topic, but I'm saying something very much important to you, that is English listening, because listening is the key to English mastery. Well, I'm getting tired of speaking. I'm getting tired of talking, because I'm just speaking randomly without having any script, without having any topic. I'm just saying, I'm just speaking. I don't know when it will be finished, when it will be closed of my this talkative speech. But I think it will be very much useful for developing your English listening. It will be very much useful for developing your English understanding. So you can listen this for many times, because it will be useful for you, for developing your English knowledge, for developing your English understanding. Well, so my final suggestion for you: to listen, to listen, to listen, to listen. You have to listen lots of time. If you can listen loads of time, that will be very much useful for you to master your English speaking. Well, thank you so very much for tolerating my this long speech, long, rambling. I think you're getting bored, you're getting tired of listening. But if you listen these types of audios, if you listen these types of videos, if you watch these types of videos, it will be really much, really very much useful for you to develop your English understanding, English knowledge. Well, I'm speaking before you, I'm doing some kind of rambling. Maybe I'm making lots of mistake, I'm making some grammatical errors, I'm speaking something wrong. I'm doing some kinds of different errors in my speaking. But think positive, that I'm speaking, I'm trying to make a long podcast, kind of podcast, that will be helpful for you to understand my words, that will be useful for you to get some English sentences, that will be helpful for you to get some English expressions, that will be useful for developing your English knowledge of listening, of understanding, and so on. Well, once again, thank you so very much. Bye bye. Assalamu alaikum.